Two coins you don't want to overlook: the Millard Fillmore Presidential Dollar and the Washington Quarter. Both can carry rare errors and high-value examples that sell for far more than face value. Your change could be worth serious money. The United States Millard Fillmore $1 coin is one of those pieces of currency that most people overlook without realizing its deeper value, both historically and financially. At first glance, it looks like just another coin from the presidential $1 coin program, introduced to honor every U.S. president in order of their service. Yet hidden in this particular coin lies a fascinating connection to American history and an even greater surprise when it comes to collector value. While most of these coins only exchange hands for $1, certain rare varieties and mint condition examples have shocked the numismatic world, with prices ranging anywhere from $55,000 to as much as $130,000. That kind of price tag attached to a coin that was intended for everyday use is what makes stories about the Millard Fillmore dollar so captivating to collectors and history enthusiasts alike. The presidential $1 coin program began in 2007 and ran until 2016, creating a unique golden-colored coin for each U.S. president. The Millard Fillmore dollar was released in 2010 as part of this series, following presidents such as Zachary Taylor and preceding Franklin Pierce. Fillmore, the 13th President of the United States, served from 1850 to 1853, taking office after the sudden death of President Zachary Taylor. While Fillmore isn't usually listed among the most celebrated presidents, his coin has become an important part of the series and a highly sought-after collectible for those who aim to complete the entire set. The design of the coin is distinctive. On the obverse, you'll find a portrait of Millard Fillmore, his name inscribed around the top rim, along with the title 13th President, and the years of his term, 1850 to 1853. The reverse carries the striking image of the Statue of Liberty, with the inscriptions United States of America and $1. What sets the presidential coins apart is the edge lettering. Rather than being blank, the edge of the coin includes inscriptions such as E Pluribus Unum, the year of minting, the mint mark, and In God We Trust. This was the first time in decades that circulating U.S. coins had edge lettering, giving them a distinct look and feel compared to other modern coins. Most Millard Fillmore dollars that people come across are worth face value or slightly more if they are uncirculated. However, the real value comes into play with specific conditions and varieties. Coins that are preserved in pristine condition, often labeled by professional grading services as MS67, MS68 or higher, are extremely rare. It's these high-grade examples that have been known to fetch tens of thousands of dollars at auctions. Add in the factor of possible minting errors, and the value increases dramatically. Collectors are always searching for coins with double dies, off-center strikes, missing edge lettering, or other unusual variations. These errors turn ordinary coins into extraordinary treasures. One of the most fascinating aspects of the Millard Fillmore dollar is how its value skyrockets depending on such small details. A coin with slightly worn surfaces may only be worth a few dollars, but an identical coin that survived the minting process without flaws, retaining full luster, and carefully preserved by its owner, could easily be worth $55,000 or more. In fact, some Fillmore dollars have been sold at prices exceeding $130,000, proving that even a coin that many might consider mundane can become a collector's dream under the right circumstances. Stories from collectors add to the intrigue. There have been cases where individuals, without realizing the value of what they held, kept their Millard Fillmore dollars tucked away in drawers or coin jars for years. Later, when they had the coin appraised, they discovered it was not just a dollar but a rare high-grade example or an error coin worth thousands upon thousands of dollars. That element of surprise, the idea that such value could be hiding in plain sight, is what makes these coins so thrilling in the world of numismatics. The appeal of the Millard Fillmore dollar also comes from the broader presidential $1 series. Many collectors aim to own a full set of all the presidents, and because the program ended in 2016, there will never be another chance to mint these coins again. This finite production adds to the rarity and desirability. Coins like the Fillmore dollar, especially in top condition, become cornerstones of such collections. When demand is high and supply is limited, prices inevitably climb, which is exactly how we see auction prices leap into that staggering $55,000 to $130,000 range. Looking at Fillmore's role in history gives even more depth to his coin. He was the last Whig president and a figure who presided over the turbulent years leading up to the Civil War. Though his presidency is often debated, his coin serves as a lasting piece of remembrance, carrying with it not only the face of a president, but also the echoes of a pivotal time in U.S. history. For collectors, owning such a coin is like holding a small piece of America's past in their hands. For those wondering if they might have a valuable Fillmore coin, the key is in the details. Start by checking the condition. Does it still have its original mint luster, free from scratches and signs of wear? Is the edge lettering sharp and complete, or is it missing? Does the coin have any unusual doubling or misalignments? All of these factors can transform a common coin into a rare treasure. If you suspect you have something special, professional grading and certification are essential steps to unlocking its full value. Auction houses and private sales have proven the market demand for these coins. Collectors bidding against one another often push prices higher than expected, especially when a coin is presented in flawless condition. Even though Millard Fillmore may not be the most famous president, his coin continues to attract fierce competition among numismatists. It is not unusual for auctions to begin with modest estimates, only to end in shock as the final hammer price lands somewhere between $55,000 and $130,000. The Millard Fillmore $1 coin stands as a perfect example of why coin collecting is so much more than just amassing loose change. It's about discovery, preservation, and history. It shows how something so ordinary can reveal extraordinary value when placed under the right circumstances. And most importantly, it reminds us that hidden treasures may still exist in the most unlikely of places. Pocket change, old collections, or forgotten drawers, so the next time you come across a Millard Fillmore dollar, don't dismiss it as just another commemorative coin. Look at it carefully. It might be a coin that, under the right conditions, could carry a value not of $1 but tens of thousands. Could be the very coin that changes someone's financial story, worth anywhere between $55,000 and $130,000. That's the excitement of numismatics, the idea that history, rarity, and chance can come together in the palm of your hand. The Washington Quarter is one of the most recognizable coins in American history, a piece that has passed through the hands of millions of people over decades. But among the countless coins minted year after year, a select few stand apart, transforming from pocket change into treasures that collectors are willing to pay astonishing amounts of money for. The 1990 Washington Quarter is one such coin, a modern-era piece that has shocked both collectors and casual owners with its surprising value. While most 1990 quarters are worth no more than their face value of 25 cents, certain rare examples in exceptional condition or with unique minting features have been known to command staggering prices, ranging from $45,000 to as high as $122,000. That kind of leap in value has made the 1990 quarter one of the most talked about modern coins in numismatic circles. The Washington Quarter has a long history, first introduced in 1932 to commemorate the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth. The obverse of the coin features the profile of the nation's first president, designed by John Flanagan, while the reverse during 1990 still carried the familiar eagle with outstretched wings perched on a bundle of arrows, with olive branches below. This design, simple yet powerful, had been a staple of American coinage for decades before the state quarters program began in 1999. By 1990, the Washington Quarter was already a workhorse coin, widely used and rarely thought of as something collectible. But sometimes the most ordinary-seeming years hide remarkable surprises. The 1990 quarters were minted in enormous quantities at the Philadelphia and Denver mints, with billions struck to meet the needs of everyday commerce. With such a high mintage, it may seem unlikely that any particular quarter from this year could stand out. Yet, the key to value in numismatics lies not just in how many coins were made, but in the tiny fraction that survive in pristine condition or display rare errors. Those are the coins that collectors chase after, and those are the coins that can bring in auction prices far beyond what anyone would expect. High-grade 1990 Washington quarters are among the most desirable for serious collectors. The grading scale, which ranges from 1 to 70, measures the quality of a coin's preservation. Most 1990 quarters that circulated in the public have scratches, nicks, and wear that reduce their value significantly. However, a small number were carefully preserved, either in mint sets or saved unknowingly before being handled too much. When one of these coins grades out at MS-67 or higher, it becomes a standout example, and collectors are often willing to pay top dollar to own one. In fact, it's these pristine, high-grade examples that have shocked the market with valuations between $45,000 and $122,000. What makes the 1990 quarter even more exciting are the error varieties that occasionally surface. Error coins are the unexpected gems of the collecting world. During minting, the machinery sometimes malfunctions, resulting in coins that are double-struck, off-center, or missing elements such as mint marks. In 1990, there were some striking errors that caught the attention of collectors, including misaligned dies and dramatic off-center strikes. Each of these errors creates a one-of-a-kind coin, something that sets it apart forever from the billions of standard quarters produced that year. When such a coin surfaces in the hands of a knowledgeable collector, it can spark bidding wars that send prices soaring. Auction stories involving the 1990 quarter have captivated the coin collecting community. Cases of coins in top condition or with dramatic minting errors making their way to auction have consistently drawn intense competition. Collectors understand that while billions of quarters were struck, only a tiny fraction survive in the condition or with the characteristics that make them extraordinary. It's this scarcity that drives the value and creates jaw-dropping sales. A coin that once jingled in someone's pocket as spare change can, under the right circumstances, transform into a financial windfall worth tens of thousands of dollars. What's particularly fascinating about the 1990 Washington quarter is that it belongs to a transitional period in U.S. coinage. The state quarters program had not yet begun, and the eagle reverse still carried its place of honor on the coin. For some collectors, these later years of the eagle reverse are especially appealing because they represent the end of an era. When combined with the rarity of high-grade examples or error varieties, the 1990 quarter becomes a coin that bridges both history and value, offering something to collectors who appreciate its place in the broader timeline of U.S. coinage. Stories often circulate of people discovering valuable 1990 quarters in the most unexpected places. A jar of coins sitting on a dresser, a roll of quarters pulled from the bank, or even change received at a store has sometimes contained one of these rare gems. While the odds are slim, it's this possibility that excites collectors and casual observers alike. The idea that a coin worth $45,000 to $122,000 could be sitting in your home right now is what makes coins like the 1990 quarter so intriguing. Collectors who have managed to secure one of these extraordinary quarters often speak of the thrill that comes with owning such a piece. It's not just about the monetary value. It's about holding a tangible piece of history that, against all odds, survived in perfect form or carries a unique flaw that sets it apart forever. The Washington quarter, so ordinary to most people, becomes something almost mythical in this context, a treasure hiding in plain sight. For those new to collecting, the 1990 quarter also serves as an important lesson. It reminds us to look closely at coins, to study their details, and to appreciate that even modern coins can have extraordinary value. Many assume that only ancient coins or those from the 1800s can fetch large sums, but the 1990 Washington quarter proves that modern coins, too, can be worth small fortunes if they have the right qualities. The appeal of this coin goes beyond its design or rarity. It ties into the American love of discovery, the thrill of finding value where no one expected it. It taps into that sense of treasure hunting, the belief that something so ordinary could turn out to be extraordinary. That's what keeps collectors searching, what keeps people checking their change, and what makes coins like the 1990 quarter legendary in the numismatic world. So, the next time you come across a Washington quarter dated 1990, don't dismiss it as just another piece of change. Take a closer look. Inspect the details, the condition, the strike, and the mint mark. Because within that small coin could be the difference between 25 cents and a life-changing amount of money. Somewhere out there, perhaps in a coin jar, in a roll from the bank, or in the palm of your hand, could be a 1990 quarter worth between $45,000 and $122,000. And that possibility is what makes this coin one of the most exciting and captivating modern treasures in American numismatic history. The 1996 Washington quarter-dollar coin is one of those fascinating pieces of U.S. currency that shows how something as ordinary as pocket change can transform into an extraordinary treasure. Most people who held a 1996 quarter at some point probably spent it without even thinking twice, sliding it into a parking meter, a vending machine, or tossing it into a change jar. Yet for collectors, the story of this coin runs much deeper. Some rare examples of the 1996 Washington quarter, under the right conditions, have sold for jaw-dropping prices between $40,000 and $116,000, turning a simple 25-cent piece into a life-changing discovery. That is the magic of numismatics, finding immense value where others see only the ordinary. To understand why the 1996 quarter has become so sought after in the collecting world, it helps to look at the history behind the design. The Washington quarter was first introduced in 1932 to celebrate the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth. Designed by John Flanagan, the obverse features a profile of the nation's first president facing left, with the inscriptions "Liberty" and "In God We Trust" prominently displayed. On the reverse, the heraldic eagle stands proudly with wings spread, holding a bundle of arrows and framed by olive branches, a powerful image of both strength and peace. For decades, this design became one of the most recognized symbols of American coinage. By 1996, the Washington quarter had already been in circulation for over 6 decades, but the mint was preparing to transition towards something new. The famous 50-state quarters program was just around the corner, launching in 1999. That makes the 1996 quarter part of the final years of the classic eagle reverse design, giving it historical significance as a last-of-an-era type of coin. Collectors often gravitate toward coins struck just before major changes, and the 1996 quarter fits this pattern perfectly. So what makes certain 1996 quarters worth a fortune while others remain just pocket change? The answer lies in a mix of condition, rarity, and minting errors. Millions upon millions of quarters were produced in 1996 across the Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco mints. The overwhelming majority of these coins circulated heavily, picking up scratches, dings, and general wear. These circulated examples are common and hold little more than their face value. But a select few, preserved in pristine condition or displaying remarkable minting errors, have skyrocketed in value. Condition plays a huge role in determining whether a coin is worth a few cents or tens of thousands of dollars. Coins graded by professional services such as PCGS or NGC on the Sheldon scale can achieve designations like MS67 or MS68 if they remain in exceptional, almost flawless condition. High luster, sharp details, and virtually no contact marks are what set these coins apart. For the 1996 quarter, achieving these high grades is particularly rare, and that scarcity drives intense demand among collectors. When you find one of these coins certified at such a high grade, its value can climb dramatically into the $40,000 to $116,000 range. Equally important are error coins. Minting errors occur when something goes wrong during the coin production process, and they can create unique varieties that collectors crave. For the 1996 quarter, errors such as off-center strikes, double dies, or missing elements can turn a common coin into a highly desirable rarity. An error that is both dramatic and rare increases the appeal significantly, and when combined with strong condition, these coins become the ones that auction houses and collectors chase after relentlessly. Auction stories surrounding the 1996 quarter demonstrate just how much excitement these coins can create. A collector who had carefully stored away a small collection of quarters decided to submit them for grading. One of those was a 1996 Washington quarter that came back with a stunning high mint state grade. When it went up for auction, the bids climbed quickly. Enthusiastic collectors recognized its rarity, and the final hammer price soared into the tens of thousands, shocking even seasoned experts. Cases like this fuel the passion of coin enthusiasts everywhere, because they show that even a coin minted in the late 20th century can achieve values typically associated with far older rarities. The allure of the 1996 quarter isn't just about financial value, it's also about the sense of history and discovery. Holding one of these coins in perfect condition is like holding a time capsule, a piece of history preserved exactly as it was struck almost 3 decades ago. Collectors value not just the metal itself, but the journey the coin represents. How did it survive without being spent? How did it avoid the scratches and wear of everyday circulation? These questions add to the mystery and charm of the coin. For new collectors, the 1996 quarter serves as a reminder to always look closely at your change. While most coins from this year are common, there's always the chance that a rare example slipped into circulation unnoticed. That possibility fuels the hunt. It's not just about building a collection. It's about the thrill of discovering something extraordinary in an ordinary place. Every coin roll opened or every pocketful of change examined carries with it the excitement of a potential hidden treasure. Another fascinating aspect of the 1996 quarter is its role as a bridge between two major eras in U.S. coinage. As mentioned earlier, just 3 years later in 1999, the U.S. Mint launched the State Quarters program, which transformed the hobby of coin collecting and brought millions of new enthusiasts into the fold. The 1996 quarter represents the final years before that massive cultural shift in U.S. coinage. Collectors who cherish the eagle reverse see these coins as the last of a classic design that had defined the quarter for over 60 years. That historical context adds to their desirability and makes them more than just a piece of change. It makes them a symbol of a closing chapter in American numismatic history. The extraordinary value of $40,000 to $116,000 attached to rare 1996 quarters also highlights the importance of grading and authentication. Without the expertise of professional grading services, it would be nearly impossible for collectors to know whether their coin holds immense value or not. That's why serious collectors trust services like PCGS and NGC to provide the official certification that gives confidence in both the authenticity and the grade of the coin. When a 1996 quarter receives such certification at a high grade, it becomes far more than just another quarter. It becomes a highly sought-after investment. For many, the fascination with coins like the 1996 quarter comes down to the idea of hidden potential. A coin that most people see as insignificant can carry a story, a history, and a value that defies expectations. This transforms everyday transactions into potential treasure hunts. Collectors often share stories of how they found rare coins by simply paying attention to what others ignored. The 1996 quarter fits perfectly into this narrative, fueling the hope that one day someone might stumble upon a coin worth tens of thousands in their spare change. Even within the numismatic community, the 1996 quarter remains a coin that sparks conversation and excitement. Collectors debate which mint produced the most desirable strikes, share photos of their highest graded examples, and keep an eye on auction results to track how values are trending. These discussions reinforce the idea that the coin is more than just currency. It's a piece of living history that continues to inspire and engage people decades after it was first minted. The Washington Quarter series itself is one of the most enduring and beloved coin programs in U.S. history. From its beginnings in 1932 to its evolution in the modern era, it has been a constant presence in the pockets of Americans. The 1996 quarter holds a special place in that timeline as one of the last of its kind before the design shifted to the state quarters. That dual identity, as both a common coin and a rare treasure, makes it one of the most intriguing pieces of U.S. coinage for collectors today. Ultimately, the story of the 1996 Washington quarter dollar coin is about more than just money. It's about discovery, history, and the thrill of the hunt. It's about how something so small can carry so much significance and how ordinary objects can become extraordinary under the right circumstances. Whether it's a flawless high-grade example preserved for decades or a dramatic error coin that tells the story of a minting mistake, these quarters represent the unexpected treasures that keep the hobby alive and exciting. So the next time you find yourself holding a 1996 quarter, don't dismiss it as just another piece of change. Take a closer look. Examine the details. You never know. It could be one of the rare examples worth between $40,000 and $116,000, waiting to turn an ordinary moment into something truly unforgettable. That's the beauty of coin collecting. The possibility that hidden among the millions of coins we handle every day, there's one that carries a story, a legacy, and a value beyond imagination.